Hello dear students, in this session let us solve problems on transforming the given PDE into its canonical form. Okay. So before moving to the problem, let us recall some of the things which we have already discussed in the previous session. So first what we have done, we have considered a second order general partial differential equation, right? That is nothing but AUXX plus BUXY plus CUYY plus DUX plus EUY plus Fu is equal to G. This is the second order, that is general second order linear partial differential equation. For this, the canonical form we obtained was A bar U xi xi plus B bar U xi eta plus C bar U eta eta plus D bar U xi plus E bar U eta plus F bar U is equal to G bar. This is the canonical form for this. That means your plane from xy to there is a transformation of your plane from xy to xi eta. You can observe that, right? So this was what we have discussed in the previous session, and also we discussed one major topic, that is deciding the given partial differential equation, that whether it is a elliptic equation, hyperbolic equation or parabolic equation, by finding the discriminant, right? Discriminant is nothing but your b square minus 4ac. If the value of b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then the given partial differential equation is hyperbolic. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, the given equation is parabolic. And if the value is less than 0, then it is elliptic. This is how we will find the nature of the given partial differential equation, right? So these three are the classification of our second order partial differential equation. So using all these concepts, now let's solve problem, that is transforming the given partial differential equation into its canonical form. That means the given partial differential equation will be in xy plane. We will convert that to xi eta plane in the case of hyperbolic and parabolic. When it comes to elliptic, if you remember, you will get to know that the xi eta plane again transformed to another plane, that is alpha beta, using some transformation in the case of elliptic, right? So in the case of elliptic, the final solution will be in the form of alpha beta. Okay, so now let's move to problem. The first problem I have considered is uxx plus 2uxy plus 4uyy plus 2ux plus 3uy is equal to 0. This is the given partial differential equation. First, what I supposed to do, I have to find out whether it is hyperbolic, parabolic or elliptic. For that, I have to find out the value of b, a as well as c, right? So if I compare this given partial differential equation with the general one, you can observe the value of a is 1, b is 2, c is 4, D is 2, E is 3, and we have F and G as 0, right? So one more thing, what I have explained you in the beginning class of your second order linear partial differential equation is, if the coefficient or constants, then the given partial differential is called as second order partial differential equation with constant coefficient, right? But if any of these a, b, c, d, e, f or g value is a function of either x or y, then that particular partial differential equation is said to be second order partial differential equation with variable coefficient. So the first problem is second order partial differential equation with constant coefficients, right? So now let's move to the discriminant, finding the nature of the given PDE. So b square minus 4ac is equal to, what is the value of b? It is 2. So I have to square it. Minus 4 as it is, value of a is 1 and value of c is 4. So you will get 4 minus 16, that is minus 12. Minus 12 is less than 0. That means the nature of the given partial differential equation is elliptic, right? So you can write that therefore the given partial differential equation is elliptic in nature. So now what I have to do? I have to consider the characteristic equation, right? That is nothing but dy by dx is equal to minus b plus or minus, the equation, the characteristic equation is dy by dx is equal to b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Substitute the values here. B is 2 plus or minus square root of 2 square is 4 minus 4ac means 16 divided by 2. If you solve this, you will get 1 plus or minus I into root 3. You will get I because here you will get a negative value. So square root of minus, you will get it I, right? So this is the root now. So I can write this root as dy by dx is equal to 1 plus I root 3 and dy by dx is equal to 1 minus I root 3. I have two roots, right? I have written in this form. So next what I have to do, I have to integrate these two equations in order to find the value of xi and eta, right? So y is equal to, if I differentiate, I have to integrate this, then only I will get y, right? So if I integrate this whole term with respect to x, I will get 1 plus I root 3 into x plus some constant c1. Similarly, here you will get y is equal to 1 minus I root 3 into x plus some constant c2. Now if I want to write the solution for c1 and c2, I will get c1 is equal to y minus 1 plus I root 3 into x and c2 is equal to y minus 1 minus I root 3 into x. So we have seen in the derivation part, that is if in the case of b square minus 4ac equals 0, greater than 0 as well as in less than 0, the slope of the curves will be xi of x comma y is equal to c1 and eta of x comma y is equal to c2 or real, right? So what I will do is I will consider this c1 as xi of x comma y and this c2 as eta of x comma y. These two are the slopes of the curves now. Okay. So now I can write xi of x comma y is equal to c1. c1 means y minus 1 plus I root 3 into x and eta of x comma y is equal to y minus 1 minus I root 3 into x. Since the given partial differential equation is elliptic, now I have to find out the value of alpha and beta, right? To find out the value of alpha and beta, that is nothing but these two are new coordinates. Using these two new coordinates, I have to find out the value of alpha and beta. We have a formula for finding alpha and beta. So in order to find alpha, I have xi plus eta by 2. And to find out beta, we have xi minus eta by 2i, right? Substitute the values of xi and eta here and simplify. So alpha is equal to y minus 1 plus I root 3 into x plus eta is y minus 1 minus I root 3 into x whole divided by 2. So you will get alpha as 2y, and if you expand this you will get minus of 1 plus I root 3 minus into plus, it is minus, you will get it as 2y minus 1 minus I root 3 minus 1 plus I root 3. For all this we have x, right? Okay, I will rewrite this here. 2y minus x minus I root 3 into x minus x plus I root 3 into x whole divided by 2. So minus I root 3 into x plus I root 3 into x gets cancelled. You will get alpha as 2y minus 2x divided by 2. This is nothing but y minus x. This is my alpha. So now I have to find out beta. So beta will be, substitute the values again, y minus 1 plus I root 3 into x minus y, we have minus here, minus into y minus of 1 minus I root 3 into x whole divided by 2i, right? This is what the formula to find out beta. So if you simplify this, you will get y gets cancelled. Here you will get minus x minus I root 3 into x. So this is, so minus into minus it is plus, so plus x, minus into minus it is plus, plus into minus it is minus I root 3 into x whole divided by 2i. X gets cancelled here. You will get minus 2i into root 3 into x by 2i. 2i gets cancelled. You will get beta as minus root 3 into x. So now I know the value of alpha and beta, right? So now let's move further. We have to find the canonical form for the given partial differential equation, right? So for that, now what we will do is, the new coordinates now is alpha is equal to y minus x and beta is equal to minus root 3 into x. So to find out ux, we will use the formula as, so now we have to convert to canonical form, right? So we have seen this part of the derivation. Here I have ux, uy, uxx, uxy and uyy. If I find all these values and if I substitute to the given partial differential equation, then I will get the equation either in terms of xi and eta or in terms of alpha and beta. That is nothing but your canonical form, right? So now what I will do is, in the same equation, wherever I have xi, I will replace xi by alpha and eta by beta. That means we have new coordinates now which are alpha and beta, that is coming from alpha, xi and eta plane, right? So for that purpose, ux will be now, in order to find out ux, the formula is u alpha into alpha x. Here it was u xi into xi x, since it was a xi eta plane. Now I have the plane that is alpha and beta. For that, the formula will be in this form. This is ux. Similarly, uy will be u alpha into alpha y plus u beta into beta y. Uxx will be u alpha 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 x square plus 2 times of u alpha beta beta x alpha x plus u beta beta into beta x whole square plus u alpha into alpha xx plus u beta into beta xx. Okay, similarly I will write another two, that is uxy and uyy. Now substitute all the values and find out these 5 unknowns. Okay, so from the new coordinates we have alpha is equal to y minus x and beta is equal to minus root 3x. So from this, what all the things I have to find out? First I should know what is alpha x. If I differentiate this with respect to x, I will get minus 1. Alpha xx is 0. Alpha y is 1. Alpha yy is 0. Right? So similarly find out beta x. Beta x is minus root 3. Beta y is 0. Beta xx is 0 and beta yy is 0. So let's substitute these values to these formulas now. Okay, so to find out ux, this is the differentiation of u with respect to alpha, which is not known. We know only alpha x, beta x, all these values, right? So u alpha into alpha x is minus 1 plus u beta into beta x is minus root 3. So this is nothing but minus u alpha minus root 3 into beta. Similarly find out uy. U alpha into alpha with respect to y is 1 plus u beta into beta with respect to y is 0. So you will get u alpha. So uxx will be u alpha alpha into alpha x whole square, that is minus 1 whole square, plus 2u alpha beta. Beta x is minus root 3. Alpha x is minus 1 plus u beta beta into beta x whole square means minus root 3 whole square plus u alpha into alpha xx is 0. U beta into beta xx is 0. So if you solve this, you will get minus 1 whole square is plus 1. So u alpha alpha plus minus root 3 into minus 1 is 2 as it is. So it will be plus root 3 u alpha beta minus root 3 whole square is plus 3 u beta beta. These two terms become 0. So this is my uxx. Next uxy will be u alpha alpha, I will write it as it is. Alpha x is minus 1, alpha y is plus 1 plus u alpha beta into alpha x is minus 1, beta y is 0 plus alpha y is 1, beta x is minus root 3 plus u beta beta. Beta x is minus root 3, beta y is 0 plus u alpha into, we have to find out alpha xy, right? That means I have to differentiate alpha x with respect to y. So alpha xy is 0. Similarly we have beta xy. So if I differentiate beta x with respect to y, I will get it as 0. So u alpha into 0 plus u beta into 0. You will get this as minus u alpha alpha. This term will be 0 and minus root 3 u alpha beta. Right? So give equation numbers to all of this. The given partial differential equation will be your equation number 1. And this transformation I will consider as equation number 2. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to find out uyy now, right? So if you use the same procedure, you will get uyy as u alpha alpha. Okay, call this as equation number 7. Now substitute 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in your equation number 1 and you have to simplify that. Okay, so if you substitute the values, you will get it as u alpha alpha plus 2 root 3 u alpha beta plus 3 u beta beta. Since the value of a is 1, I'm substituting your uxx value plus 2 into uxy plus 2 into uxy is minus u alpha alpha minus root 3 u alpha beta, right? Plus 4 into uyy is u alpha alpha plus 2 into ux is minus u alpha minus root 3 u beta plus 3 into uy is u alpha, which is equal to 0, right? So now you will get this as u alpha alpha plus 2 root 3 u alpha beta plus 3 u beta beta minus 2 u alpha alpha minus 2 root 3 u alpha beta plus 4 u alpha alpha minus 2 u alpha minus 2 root 3 u beta plus 3 u alpha. Now 2 root 3 u alpha beta gets cancelled with this term. So you will get u alpha alpha minus 2 u alpha alpha is minus u alpha alpha plus u alpha alpha is 3 u alpha alpha plus 3 u beta beta plus here I have minus 2 u alpha, here plus 3 u alpha. You will get this as plus u alpha minus 2 root 3 u beta is equal to 0. This equation is nothing but your transformed equation in canonical form. So this is one way of solving the problem. We have one more method to solve the problem, that is nothing but till finding the value of alpha beta, it's same, there is no change in that. Later we will consider the canonical form as a bar u alpha alpha, b bar u alpha beta, c bar u beta beta, d bar u alpha, e bar u beta, f bar u is equal to g bar. We will consider this canonical form equation. Okay, here I have to find out the value of a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar, e bar, f bar and g bar since it is elliptic, right? So while doing derivation part, you can observe we have seen a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar, e bar, f bar, g bar values. So like previous method, here in the place of xi x, you just write alpha x. Here it is alpha x, alpha y, alpha y. In the place of eta x, you will write beta x, right? So this transformation converted to alpha and beta terms. Like this, you can observe here. Alpha x, alpha y square. So in the place of eta, we have beta here since it is elliptic. Don't get confused with other nature of partial differential equation. Since it is elliptic, your transformation is converted to alpha beta, or else it will be retained in the form of xi and eta itself. Okay, so using the same procedure, you will find out all these constant values, and if you substitute to this equation, you will get the same answer. You can check it, see. So we will get the same equation if you solve the problem in any of the method. In your notes, this is what I have given. In the explanation, I have explained in another form. Okay, this is how we will solve the partial differential equation if it is elliptic in nature. So we will see hyperbolic and parabolic in the next session. Thank you.